Hello. So, as the non-existent people can see, we're gonna be playing Plebes SMP, whatever type of name that is. And I am currently 30,000 blocks out. 13 by 30,000 blocks out on the negative side corner of the map, in which the owner will soon add a border at the 30,000 by 30,000, sides. Seems like I'm a little bit over that. Like, this is literally the border right here. That's where the border should have been. Except he hasn't added that yet, but the border will come soon. For those who want to join the Plebes SMP, if you really want, I left a Discord link on in the description of this stream. I am, in fact, trying to go to a very, very far corner of the map, in which, if you haven't already told, or, realized, is exactly the negative corner of the entire Plebes SMP map. Which, it took me a very long time to get here, and I did die a couple times, but I did thankfully use a nether portal that was a couple thousand blocks out with a few of my teammates, because there is a reason why I'm going all the way out here. And if you want to know why, we have to go all the way back to the beginning of the Plebes SMP when I joined the server. Now, it's going to be a very long story, but it's just going to pass the time for a little bit. So I joined the server not too long ago, and I basically had nothing, but the owner of the server, I'm not the owner, I do not have a subscription, and I don't pay for any subscriptions like Modrinth servers. And if you don't know what Modrinth is, it's basically a place where mods are usually found, and they just also support like making servers using Modrinth. I don't know why I say it like that. I don't know why I said it like that. But you know what I mean. So you can mostly just get mods from Modrinth. It's literally in the name. But you can also create servers, and that's exactly what the creator Don Mayo did, or otherwise known as on Discord, Badlam. But basically, Don asked me for, or offered me a starter bundle completely for free, and obviously I said yes. It gave me a couple things, including like a shield, and so that was very useful. And I eventually settled in around 1,000 blocks out from spawn, not very far away, until someone in the same day joined, called Kryptonic. And this is where my troubles began, because Kryptonic came to me at my house, or like my base, where I just thought this server wasn't really an anarchy server. It isn't actually an anarchy server, it just is, according to Don. Yeah, Don says it's not supposed to be an anarchy server. It really is, for some reason. Ooh! But, anyways. I'm not waiting that long. But, I don't know how to do this, but there is a free golden apple right here. Should I free this villager? Probably not, actually. Anyways, um, so Kryptonic came to my base, and I thought he was just peaceful. Like, he didn't mean any harm, and he wasn't just gonna hurt me. But he was standing on top of this tree, like, literally, legit towering, literally just above me, like some tough guy. And long story short, he ended up killing me and robbing me. And in which this server, it doesn't have keep inventory, but it does use something like a server-sided mod called Graves, where basically when you die, all of your stuff and their exact positions get saved in that grave. And so, also the reason why I'm wearing a head, it's also another mod. You know, whenever you die, you drop a head and it shows who killed you. Another pro to this is that it doesn't have an overlay like pumpkins do, even though I have a resource pack installed just to get rid of that. But also it doesn't show you on the player locator bar, which is something also really horrible. The server has the player locator bar enabled. And to even make it worse, the server creator, Don Mayo, which I'll just call Don, on the Discord server released a blue map, in which those who don't know what a blue map is, in which I am pretty sure most of you don't, it is a map that basically shows the entire, well, in this case, the entire SMP and which chunks are loaded in every single dimension, which means the main three. And so, yeah, that gets used a lot. And I only used it mostly just to find Kryptonic, because let me get back to the story real quick. Kryptonic killed and robbed me of all my stuff. I recently got brand new, freshly made diamond armor. Except this guy stole it after killing me because I had it in my chest. Even though Spawn, which looks like a really good, like, it just looks like a gazebo, it has e-chest. I just didn't put anything in there because I'm dumb. But basically, you know, it got stolen. You know, pretty, not really that surprising, but Kryptonic didn't have any armor. He was a new player, even though he actually got whitelisted way before I did. But he got a starter bundle, and he basically killed me when I was basically busy, when I was literally just scrolling on Discord, like checking my notifications. Okay, so believe it or not, I was very sad. And I got back to my stuff because he broke my bed and then, you know, just like dipped, not gonna lie. Where am I heading to? Yeah. He just kind of dipped after just robbing everything I had, except for 33 ingots in my furnace, in which I used to get some iron gear, because I had nothing else. And then I eventually just settled on just a boat, couple pieces of food, and went on my way to go find where Kryptonic went. And so Kryptonic went really, really far out, in which was to be 6,000 blocks out from spawn, and it was really difficult to get through. I don't know how he got there that fast, and he logged off before I could get to where he logged off at, and I didn't know exactly what to do until I remembered that the blue map existed. And so I checked like the loaded chunks that was in the direction that he was in. And so I just went all the way over there, pinpointed and waypointed exactly where he was, and like pretty close to where he last logged off. And I just waited and made a secret base. I geared up for hours. That turned into days. It turned into weeks, and this guy wouldn't log back on. To this day, he hasn't logged on. At this point, it really didn't matter anymore because I kind of like don't have. I don't really need my stuff back anymore. That was when I was super new to the game. I mean the server, because it was literally my first day, and so so I became teammates with someone named Nepo, and Nepo wanted a bunch of stuff that I was more than happy to do for him. Which one of those things was a villager trading hall, and so I couldn't make that because in the making, well, I did make it, but I'll explain. In the making of the villager trading hall, my secret base that I was hiding in so I could find Kryptonic as soon as he logged on, eventually got found by someone who was the first person to log on onto the Plebes SMP, according to the whitelisting Discord channel, in which that's how you get whitelisted to get into the server. You can't just get the IP and just get on. You have to be on the Discord. So, someone named Sleepy versus the World, which I would just call Sleepy for now, logged on and decided I'm gonna go raid someone's base. And he saw my base and was like, yup, I'm gonna go and make this guy's life a living hell. And it really wasn't, actually. It was pretty chill. Basically, he just wanted Nepo to not have a teammate, and he didn't raid any of my stuff, thankfully. But I went pretty close to dying, except all he wanted was just where Nepo's grave was. And actually, there was a trial chambers right next to the secret base, and that is where Nepo's grave was because he died in there. And Sleepy had just forced me to lead him there. So, we went to the trial chambers. Nepo was nowhere to be seen until we actually went inside and found out that he was there before any of us. And when I say any of us, it means that Dawn was also there, also trying to protect me from getting killed when I was in my secret hiding spot, because this dude wouldn't freaking crouch. And so my secret respawn point, which I have two, I use one when I'm on the server, but when I log off, I use the second one, just in case. That's hidden against the walls from stone. But anyways, yeah. I basically had to give up my teammate, or give up his location, and he actually, once Sleepy killed him, which they both teleported back to spawn, because that's it's like a trigger spawn command. Basically, blah blah blah, later. Nepo wants to kill me after trying to re-gear back at the island that I was at. Do not make any jokes of that. I will not allow that. Probably. But anyways, what are those flying things? Oh, those are bees. I did not realize. Anyways. So, Nepo wanted to kill me for betraying him, which I really had no other choice because, it was rather I did that or died, which I don't think any of those are actually good. Um, so I actually decided to just like um hide because that was like the only thing I could do. And it turns out Sleepy was also scared of Nepo because of how good he was at PvP, even though he was in full netherite and Nepo was literally in village. And Nepo was like barely any gear, literally wearing like golden boots, no chest plate, iron pants, and a pumpkin head. And so this server also has a mod where we can pick up mobs. They didn't add that when I was trying to make the villager trading hall though, sadly. Um, Probably won't do anything with this place. Probably waypoint it. Village like 3 or something. There you go. And just go to sleep. Okay, so basically, I went ahead and used the blue map to see where Nepo was. Don actually came into our VC because I use simple VC chat. Voice chat. I use simple voice chat, which is a mod that basically allows proximity chat, which basically most of the people on the server use it. It's pretty, like, I just already explained what it is, so if you don't know what it is, you're just dumb, I guess. I don't really know. But anyways, I am in fact gonna take this. No, don't do that. Oh wait, I have a water bucket. Tough. What does this thing have? Absolute buns. That's me. That's amazing. I'm gonna keep going west, because that's exactly to where I'm supposed to be heading to. Basically, that was great. Basically, Sleepy and me teamed up, and we both killed, Sleepy killed Nepo, and we made a truce, so Nepo doesn't want to kill me anymore, and right now we're actually teammates. From that point on, there wasn't a lot happening in the server. It was really, really peaceful, actually. Me and Sleepy were teammates. I finished the villager trading hall, etc., etc. You know, everything was going good until a specific player joined the server. Now, before this player why is this so close to the surface? What? Okay. Is it F2? No, it's F1. Nope, stop that. What? Trial spawner? So, I don't know if there's a base here. I recently learned that this is how most bases are found, which is when these kelp is super ground. Now, I'm not going to use free cam because I don't have it, and if I do use it, I would get banned for another 3 days. Actually, I just get banned for another 3 days. For just 3 days, actually. Not another. I've never been banned on this server. I actually gave up my whole netherite set just to get not banned. For 2 days, actually. I don't know. I didn't know it was 2 days. I got caught using Meteor Client. I didn't use it for PvP. I used it to travel. And mostly use free cam. And, yeah. So basically, I got caught by Don since he recently added anti-cheat. And, you know, I had to take it off. I also got caught using free cam, which was the Moderinth mod version, not the client hack. So, yeah, this kind of sucks. Don't use clients on the server. And the server does have a lot of rules, you know, just like, don't break them, I guess. But yada yada yada, I was in the end with Nepo, and he needed to log off. Well, actually, he was just getting bored and didn't want to play on the server for a little bit, and wanted to play some other server called PvP Club. If you don't know what that is, I'm too lazy to tell you, so you can just, you know, you don't really need to know. Pretty explanatory, just by the name PvP Club. But basically, he wanted to go to... Oh my gosh, I'm running out of food. I don't have any more chorus fruit. Okay. I have more carrots, it's fine. But basically, I just needed a... I didn't really want to go to PvP Club, even though I knew what that is. He just doesn't say V when he says PvP, so he says, like, PP. Don't ask me why, I don't know. And do not also make any jokes off of that. I do not want that in my stream. I need to move the carrots. This is really bad. Anyways, I might have to make a stasis, and that probably won't be very cool, but I guess I have no choice. But basically, I didn't want to go to PvP Club because I didn't know what that was, because Nepo didn't say PvP Club. I don't think I actually heard him say club in the first place. So, you know, I just stayed on the server, and eventually someone named Edgy Pro joined the server. And immediately, he asked to be teammates. Now, this is before Nepo left PvP Club. And, he just left even after, like, a little bit after Edgy Pro joined, which I will just call Edgy for now. So Edgy, as soon as he joined, wants to become teammates with me. And I was like, okay. Because I didn't really care. I didn't have a lot of stuff, but in the end, I actually died. And Edgy Pro, after hearing that I did not have any stuff for him, he just asked someone else that recently... Okay, bro. That recently came online. They said that they usually didn't play on the server, and they gave up a whole diamond set just for Edgy Pro, and because they didn't play on the server. I don't know exactly their user. I just know that it started with a V. I really hate that guy, because why would you do that? And you'll see why, like, as I explain. But basically, IG Pro now had a whole diamond set, and I just said, yeah, sure, I'll be your teammate, but I don't have any free stuff for you, because that's exactly what he asked as soon as I said yes. Or, like, I died and came back to spawn. And so, I... Anyways, I, ended up, like, now having to deal with Edgy Pro. And he actually helped me get back to the end and retrieve all of my stuff. I actually died in the process. I thought he was gonna steal it all, but you'll see in a moment what he really did. He TP'd me back because there is, TP stuff, in this server. He TP'd me back, not knowing where my grave was. I took all of my stuff back. Thankfully, nothing was stolen. And, me and Edgy decided to just stay in the end. I wanted to go back to my base, but Edgy wanted to find an elytra, and I guess I didn't have an elytra either, but I thought that would be pretty useful. So we both went off, like, bridging, what am I friggin' typing? But anyways, we're not gonna talk about that. So we both went ahead and just started bridging to the other islands until we both eventually found a end city, which was great, but only for Edgy because he beat me to the elytra and took it. And then we both actually got out of there, and we decided to find me an elytra as well, which Edgy for some reason agreed to. And Edgy, he did Edgy stuff, I guess. I'm supposed to be heading this way. Where am I going? But anyways, okay, there you go. I just yawned. It's a good thing. Because it's not, actually. We are in 20,000 mark for the X coordinate, which is very, very good. Woohoo! But anyways, I was being attacked by this Enderman, and while Edgy was following, well, actually wasn't following me, he was actually ahead, and he didn't have simple VC, he didn't even know what that was, so he doesn't really have the mod, so I had to communicate to him with chat, and so I've seen a couple times Edgy try to kill me, and, Dawn was online at the current time, the entire time, but, no one else was online besides me, Edgy, and Dawn, Spectator, because, Dawn is always trying to be in Spectator. That is another village. Okay, there's a lot of villages here. Unlooted too. Great. No. There you go. Okay, back on my journey through the cherry blossoms. I love this biome. Anyways. So, because I was getting attacked by the Enderman, I was really, really low, and I ended up dying on the spot. And I asked Edgy to TP me, except he was awfully quiet in the chat. And I had a couple things on me, and Edgy was only just like 20 minutes into playing on the server, and he had full diamond armor, so definitely much more powerful than me when I'm at literally like 0 hearts and Bun's armor, even though I was in full diamond, with all of my stuff back. So I ended up, I had a couple of stuff on me, which I forgot to say which was. One of them was a lava bucket. And now remember, Edgy was barely getting into the server. And so I was waiting for him to respond and actually TP me, thinking that he was just typing it out. Until I saw in the chat, he got an achievement. The achievement, hot stuff. And which, for those who don't play Minecraft much or just forgot, hot stuff is when you get the achievement. Or no, hot stuff is an achievement for when you get your first lava bucket. And if you remember, I did say earlier, I had a lava bucket on me. So I started spamming yo in the chat, because this guy genuinely took my grave. Like, legit. And he just said, thank you for your stuff in chat. This guy had full diamond armor. I don't know what he wanted with my stuff. But he just, his ego was so annoying. Oh my god. But he said that, ooh hoo hoo, I am the strongest player on the server. But I was still basically teammates with Sleepy until Don later on, after all of that, said that Sleepy said that he wasn't my teammate. It was just now allies. Great, I guess. I don't really know. But he just missed everything. He hasn't been online for a while. Yeah. So Sleepy literally has full netherite, and I thought, yep, Sleepy's just gonna probably slime out this guy for me, because, you know, he's my teammate, and, you know, he actually wasn't my teammate. You know, that kind of sucks. I never got my stuff back. But Edgy basically waited for me to die, or the perfect moment, to just steal all of my stuff, which, you know, it's kind of annoying, because I had nothing now. And this guy, he only was out to just kill me now. And I was hiding in the nether trying to get back to my stuff. I don't know what the hell is that sound. I'm going to entirely ignore it. But basically, I never got my stuff back. Eddie has grown stronger ever since. But he's also been a lot more nicer ever since, because even though he kills us as mean, like, basically harasses every single person that joins the server, and desperately needs a teammate, which he doesn't really deserve one, because the first teammate he ever had, which was me, he just basically waited for me to die and just took all of my stuff. Anyways, that's pretty rare, I think. Yo, get the 1, 2, 3, 4. You know, kind of crazy. Anyways, so basically, you know, now Edgy had all my stuff. Talking about he was like the most strongest player and richest player on the server. He was super wrong, but he was talking about some, like, yeah, just wait until I kill those guys with the netherite. this guy, bro. Second day, he actually did that and killed 3 people. And eventually got his netherite and ancient debris. While I was on my way home to my base in the nether. It's my secret base. It looked like he just genuinely TP'd there. Like, he was at the spawn portal, and then suddenly I see his player locator bar just appear right in front of me. But no matter how many times, like, my whole team of, like, 4 people, including myself, say that this guy is definitely hacking, even with video proof, it's just always been that this guy hasn't been hacking somehow. And I don't know why it isn't counted. I have no idea why Don just lets this pass. But I just know this guy is definitely hacking. You know, this guy definitely didn't have a stasis. I've seen this guy genuinely say that he used my stasis, or my design, actually, basically, and then TP'd using a stasis right behind my walls in my secret base, just for me to see that it wasn't where his stasis actually was. It was literally right outside that area, actually. It was not where his stasis apparently was. Don found his stasis and said, yep, that was the stasis. And it was never proven that he actually hacked. But this guy was not TP'd to his stasis, and he legit, it wasn't to his stasis either. Literally with video proof that he had with video proof that he didn't spawn or TP at his stasis, and instead went to some other stasis. It's genuinely so weird. Don said, oh yeah, he had a stasis nearby. Don needs to lock in. It was a footage taken by Nepo, which is one of my teammates. Secret teammate, I guess, kind of. But basically, now Edgy is super, super strong. He took basically everything from everybody. I used to have a mace, and now I don't. And guess because of who? It's because of Edgy Pro. And this guy is genuinely not liked at all in the server. I even warned someone new to the server to not become teammates with him. He's just not someone to be teammates with. And I hope this guy doesn't ever get an actual teammate. He forced one of my teammates, Average is normal, which I'll just call Average, which is my teammate, after Sleepy apparently said that he was just an ally and not my teammate, even though he said it himself. Yeah, you're my teammate, bro. After giving me a ton of good stuff to, I don't really know, actually. Basically, after all of that, Edgy just has been harassing me and everyone else on this server, killing them, gulping down god notch apples, and that is an outpost. Okay, I'm going to put outpost 3. Okay, moving on. Um, give me a second. This thing is so uncomfortable. Okay, I fixed it, kind of. So after that, as I just said, Edgy never stopped coming back. He's always just trying to be. He's always trying to TP to me. He's always trying to kill me and basically just abuse how powerful he is against all of my teammates. Don just like genuinely enjoys it for some reason, even after saying this isn't supposed to be an anarchy server. You know, server is so weird. Crazy server lore. You know? But basically, me and my team, I don't know who really is the leader, actually. I'm just gonna say it's me, because, like, you know, I was the main person, the first person to get affected by IG Loki. Anyways, so, one of my teammates, which actually was supposed to be my teammate even before Average was taken away and forced to be Edgy's teammate, which really wasn't, and he just was instructed to kill all of his other teammates, which was just mean. And his other teammate from before, which Average had another teammate before he became teammates with me. We just kind of like, I just needed a teammate, so we merged into 3. Ham didn't really log on when we were first, becoming teammates, but he did eventually after that, and he's been a little bit more active ever since. So we're actually really close to like the corner of the map, which is actually really good. Basically, oh my god, what the stigma? Yo, who said that? Never mind. Don't answer that. We ended up like thinking, and Ham had this brilliant idea of a chunk ban or an area ban, which is the more realistic term. For those who don't know what a chunk ban is or an area ban, in Minecraft, this has been a feature, an intended feature, obviously. It was just something that's never been removed, because of the way it's, like, used and made. It's not exactly a bug, it's more of just a glitch that is widely used in a lot of multiplayer servers, because it doesn't work on single player servers, obviously. For those who didn't know, area bans are basically when you fill a shulker with a ton of like signed books with random characters that take up a lot of like bytes as in like computer memory or something, I don't know. And it has to do something with packets. I don't really know. Long story short, it just lags out. It just makes the game basically freak out and basically just kicks out anybody because of a packet error. I don't know what a packet is. It's just like something that has to do with like memory in the server. But yeah. So the computer basically can't take up this much information from the client and the server. And basically, when you enter the area in which it's a shulker filled with a ton of books that cannot be, like, it shouldn't be stacked, actually, takes up a lot of information all at once. So as soon as that's dropped within I think like a 46 or 48 block radius, square radius around it, um, basically we'll just kick players. And when I say kick, it just kicks you out of the server. But the thing is that it includes when you're just in that area specifically. Or anybody in that area just gets immediately kicked. And I said it's called an area ban. And which it is. Here's the thing though. It's not exactly a kick, obviously, because it's called an area ban. The real banning part is that I said that it would basically kick you if you're in the area, no matter what. Here's the thing. Since you get kicked in that area, if you're gonna log back in, since the shulker box with all that information is gonna stay there, you're just gonna get kicked over and over again. Basically not allowing you to join the server that you're chunk banned in or area banned in ever again, unless that area ban shulker box rather despawns, which there is machines to prevent that, like basically dispensing it and putting in a hopper over and over again, or shulker box just gets destroyed somehow. There really is no other way. Players just can't enter areas with the area ban, or else they will also get banned. Good stuff. But basically, Ham had this brilliant idea to use an area ban against Edgy. Now, I thought this was a brilliant idea because I have a ton of books. We just need ink sacks to turn them into, gosh, that stinks. Anyways. So, I thought it was a brilliant idea because we basically had all the materials we needed besides free ink sacks, which was really easy to get. Like, I'm literally in the ocean. I could just go get that right now if I really wanted to. Except it needs squid, which it doesn't seem like there's any squid, like, at all. So, gonna go ahead and take a little stop here. I'm gonna just wait for that to go under the, ocean level. But basically, now me and Ham has decided of a good plan that honestly is pretty fail safe. If we plan this right, and if we actually construct the shulker box, which we're gonna need because I don't have one. I only have a shulker box full of villagers because we can pick up villagers as an item, or just any mob as an item in our inventory. Look, there's literally squids right there that I could get for ink sacks, but I'm not going to do because I'd rather do it, later when it's most important, and, when it doesn't take time on the stream, when I get bored. But basically, let me think. Yeah, so I don't really know. If you guys actually paid attention, there's this thing called a dark mage, which basically clears all dropped items in the server. Here's the thing though. It doesn't drop items that aren't loaded. No. Here's an example. So if I like recently when I was coming across the ocean, and if you guys paid attention, if you didn't, well, that's kind of too bad. But there was kelp and sugar cane scattered around the world when I was, adventuring to the very negative corner of the map. So, here's the thing with that. If that wasn't cleared by the Dark Mage, it must mean that the Dark Mage can't clear any items that are unloaded chunks, or in unloaded chunks. So, by going to the very, very negative bottom left corner of the entire map where nobody gets to go, probably Edgy won't even expect it as he's TP'd into an area ban. Something crazy happens. And that is that I completely forgot what I was talking about. Could someone remind me in chat? Okay. I don't really know. Anyways. Oh yeah, so since the Dark Mage basically can't be, clearing anything that is in unloaded chunks, we could just, put Edgy in the area ban at a very far part of the map where nobody will guess to go. Because nobody is so determined like me to go all the way to the very edge of the world border, which isn't exactly implemented right now. As you can see, because literally my negative Z coordinate is way past, or it's a little bit past the 30,000 world border, which doesn't exist right now, actually. But by the end of this, thing, I will be going all the way back to make sure I'm not past the world border. Because if Dawn adds the world border tomorrow, and I probably will die, that wouldn't be very good. Because I am a couple hundred blocks away from the world border, or where it's planned to be. It kind of sucks. Anyways. There's a couple things to this. Reboots. The server has constant reboots around every single day. Every single, 1 or 2 days, Dawn basically reboots the server to refresh memory so it doesn't lag the server a bunch. I don't know if that will affect the chunk ban. The area ban. I guess we just have to find out. If it does, I guess we can just, make a bunch of backups of this area ban shulker. And, just keep Edgy banned. Because Dawn basically can't find out where Edgy could spawn. Because even though Dawn could basically teleport people, upon joining, or before anybody joins, he could, he done it before with me when I was with Edgy on his first day on the server. All that. Hold on. Don't ask what that was. But, yeah, if we set this up correctly, with no flaws, fail safe, tons of backups, that doesn't accidentally area ban us, my team will actually be able to basically area ban Edgy Pro for good on the server. If Don finds out, even though he can teleport people right when they join, he's done it before, as I said earlier. Basically, I left. He basically set where my TP point was. As soon as I joined, I was TP there, but died because of infact. Because Edgy Pro knocked me into the void in an attempt to kill me, saying that it was an accident and that I was a Enderman. That was a really, really bad lie. I don't know why I just stayed there. But basically, yeah. That happened, blah, blah, blah. So even if Don did that, as soon as Edgy joins, he's just gonna be area banned. There's basically nothing he could really actually do about that. And if he bans us, just for a couple days, you never actually find out where the area ban is, theoretically. We are super close to the corner of the map, actually. So, but anyways, the story might be coming to a close pretty soon. Not because we're close to the world border corner. I think that's the right way to say it. But because I honestly think that this is just coming to a close. I'm almost done talking about everything. But basically, yeah, my team, Ham, decided that we should chunk ban Edgy Pro. Basically, he can't do anything about it, and we're definitely not telling the owner about it because he's just gonna say it's banned, which a lot of things on the server are, like elytra macing and elytra spearing. Those are all banned. And yeah. So basically, we are just gonna have to get a ton of ink sacks, turn my books that I have into just 27 books. We actually only need 2. I don't know how to do books. I don't know how that works, but I think it requires paper or it just requires more books, which I have. It only requires 27 books in a shulker, and we only need 1 shulker. Basically, what we're gonna do is that we're just gonna dispense it, and probably just gonna set up a bunch of stuff before setting up the chunk ban. We just stop by right here. So yeah. Most likely it would be the hopper and dispense mechanism, to keep the shulker box from despawning, and also get a way to put it into the the area it's supposed to ban in the first place. Yeah. So we're probably gonna do a lot of that. I didn't tell my team that. I just thought that maybe they'd think about that too. But yeah. We're gonna make sure that we're very, very prepared. Make sure there can't be absolutely any flaws. Because if we make one singular flaw, Edgy Pro will immediately catch on to what we're trying to do and probably get us banned by Dawn. And I think I have a very smart way of doing that, and that is by tricking him. Because I, in fact, have a shulker full of villagers, and which he might want. And so if I say that I drop the villagers into a certain part in which it's actually the area band, he's just gonna go try and get it because he's super greedy. In which he would just get area banned, and then my plan works. Actually, it was Ham's plan. Full credit to Ham. W Ham. But anyways, we're only a couple hundred blocks away from the world border. Let me actually set these coordinates. 30,000. Set these coordinates. 1, 2, 3. X. And blue, because it fits the vibe. Oh, it's actually over there. I guess we should try going over there instead. I mean, it is 30,000 by 30,000, so. So as you can see, it's only a couple hundred blocks away. So as I'm getting there, I'm going to practically just close things up a little bit. Edgy is super annoying. If you're going to join the server, just hate on Edgy, bro. Someone has to kill this guy. And I just have to take all his stuff. Because I no longer have any netherite things besides some scraps. But I basically don't have any netherite set because Don just didn't tell me that it was going to be a 2-day ban instead of just, permanent ban, which I thought it was, rather than just giving up my netherite set because he caught me hacking. And I'm going to waypoint this village over here as a village. Actually, how many villages do I have waypointed? So I have like 6 now. So this is village 6, 7. Sorry. Yeah. I pretty much do not have a lot more to say, besides for just hoping that the area ban isn't in the ocean, because if it is, this is gonna be so much harder. I think it is. Is it actually in there? Wait, there's land. Hold on. Yes! Yo! Okay, so I'm finally here to my destination. It is, in fact, in the water, but that's okay. Probably. So, speaking of world borders, I'm going to go ahead and make a border around this area band and huge land surrounding it, because, on this fabric server, it has a specific radius, square radius, which is what its chunk actually is, because if I enable chunk borders, it doesn't seem like this one is exactly, gonna be a border. An actual chunk. So, yeah. Now that I'm here, I'm gonna go ahead and set my spawn somewhere. I'm just gonna dig into the wall. and just replace the dirt. And go ahead and enjoy life, because this is just the beginning of my process with my team to actually be able to chunk ban the edgy bro. Also, if you decide to join the Discord, remember it is in the description of this stream. Make sure to check that out. If you want to join, and if you want to kill Edgy without having to actually fight him, I made a suggestion in the suggestions forum channel in the Discord, and it says if we get 15 votes from the entire server, in which Edgy and really just any down votes don't actually count. We just need 15 up votes. Dawn will / kill Edgy. And, please help out, guys. We genuinely need this. Remember, this is a Java server, not a Bedrock server. So, I just realized that I set my spawn, not exactly where it should be, because it is outside the world border. So I'm gonna go ahead and set it somewhere else, preferably on the inner part of where the world border should be, which is most likely in water, because it doesn't seem like there's any land for a little while, which there is actually a little part in here. Hold on. Let me just gather some things. Damn it. Okay, there you go. I don't know why I had to do all that. I don't really actually know. Let me go ahead and go down. Put some planks right here. And I do not have enough planks. And this bed. Oh, it will stay. Hold on. Let me lock it. And just cover that up real quick. Edgy won't notice if I just take a couple of dirt, not gonna lie. The guy's probably a couple of years old. So doesn't exactly matter, but just to make sure. Gonna go ahead and log off right here. I hope you guys enjoyed the stream. Probably nobody watched. Someone named Unk said hello. Hi. Except there is no concurrent viewers. Did say they cannot read chat, so I will reply to this if I can. So, anyways, hope you guys enjoyed the stream. I am going to log off. Please join the Plebes SMP. Join the Discord. It's in the description of the stream. It's really not hard to get to. Just join the Discord. Get yourself whitelisted. It's on Java only. 1.21.11 latest version of Minecraft. Not the latest snapshot. Latest version. From the date of upload, I guess. Go hate on Edgy. Woo, go. He's so bad. Woo. Boo, Edgy. Anyways, it's 9:30 p.m. I have school tomorrow. So, I'll see you guys later. Let me know if I should make more streams on the Plebes SMP. If you really insist, I definitely will consider it. Yeah. Go